Que Loque, episode 29. And we saving the best for last. Detroit Tigers, number 2 overall. One more after this.
Number 2. Fitting for a team built around arguably the best pitcher alive and a rotation that reads like a fantasy baseball wet dream.
I'll believe the Tigers' hype when I see it carry into October. Last year they had the pitching. Couldn't hit their way out of a wet paper bag.
Parker Meadows at the top, running out of the gate. Riley Green with that left-handed pop. This lineup got dangerous.
Gleyber Torres at second was a smart kid. Career 157 WRC plus against lefties last year. That slot needed a contact bat.
Torres has been a New York disappointment for years. Now he's supposed to be their spark plug? Come on.
He was a New York disappointment because they misused him. In Detroit, he fits different system, different role.
Torkelson at first finally looked like the prospect they paid for. 30% hard hit rate last June through September.
Finally. That's the word right there. Finally. Kid was supposed to be a monster 3 years ago.
Kerry Carpenter as the DH is quietly excellent. Doesn't get the national attention he deserves.
Colt Keith at third, 19 years old, playing every day. That is the future right there, walking around the infield.
Dingler behind the plate. Decent arm. Good framer. Not gonna win you games, but won't lose you any either.
Framber Valdez. 3 years, $115 million. They spent that money and I respect it.
Ground ball rate of 61% career. On that infield, with that range, it plays the analytics match the price tag.
$115 million for Valdez, and they brought back Verlander at 43. Somebody in Detroit is not afraid to spend.
Not afraid to spend is an understatement. They went all in, Sully.
Flaherty re-signing was the quiet move. After his 2023 postseason run, everyone forgot he was still good. He reminded them.
Flaherty, Valdez, Skubal, Verlander, Mize. That is 5 legitimate starters. You know how rare that is in this league?
Tarik Skubal. Cy Young winner. The man is not human. Watching him pitch is like watching art.
37% strikeout rate, 2.15 ERA last year. He was in a class by himself in the American League.
Skubal is legit. I will never argue that. My problem is Verlander, 43 years old. What are we expecting here?
You're doubting Justin Verlander? The man has 3 Cy Youngs and pitched in the World Series at 40.
Pitched in it? Sure, but the mileage is real. When was the last time he was truly dominant start to start? I'm asking honestly.
Fair point. His 2025 xFIP was 3.92. Functional, valuable, but not the Verlander of 2017.
Even a faded Verlander is better than half the starters in this league. You two are being ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous. I'm being realistic. If Verlander goes down in May, you're suddenly pitching Mize as your 4th starter in a pennant race.
Mize is actually the interesting wild card. Post Tommy John, he has shown better command. If it clicks, this is a 6-deep rotation.
6 deep? That is World Series pitching. No team in baseball can match that if everyone is healthy.
If that word is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this conversation.
The lineup question is legitimate though. They ranked 19th in runs scored last season. Pitching carried the whole operation.
And they still won. The pitching was so elite it did not matter. That is a real team.
It matters in October when the other ace shuts you down for 7 innings and your bats go cold. Then what?
I actually side with Sully here. The lineup needs run production in the middle. Torres helps, but Torkelson has to carry that 3-4 core.
Torkelson, Green, Carpenter. You call that not producing? Those 3 can absolutely hurt you.
Can hurt you or can go cold for 3 weeks. With that rotation, 3 weeks of cold bats could still cost them a series.
The farm is where it gets interesting. Colt Keith is already the everyday third baseman. That speaks to how fast he developed.
19 years old, playing third base every day in the major leagues. Let that sink in, people.
Kid's got a good approach at the plate. Patient, doesn't chase, old soul type of hitter. Those guys age better than the mashers.
Jace Jung behind him in the system gives them a safety valve at second base if Torres struggles. Real organizational depth.
The Tigers' farm is not flashy, but it is functional. They develop pitchers. They develop hitters. Old school Detroit.
That is what I respect about this organization. They didn't blow up the farm for a rental. They built this thing the right way.
Bottom line for Detroit. Best rotation in baseball, top to bottom. Lineup is a legitimate question mark. Bullpen depth is the hidden concern.
They are number 2 for a reason. This team is going to the World Series. I'm calling it right now.
Man says World Series before opening day. Classic Deivy.
You will remember this when they hoist the trophy in October.
My take, 92 wins, AL Central title, first-round exit. The lineup is not good enough to survive a short series.
I'll split the difference. 94 wins, ALCS appearance. Skubal wins a game. Valdez wins a game. Lineup shows up enough.
ALCS, minimum I say, they go all the way. That pitching staff does not lose a series.
One team left after this, boys. We all know who is sitting at number 1.
Episode 30. The final episode. Whoever it is, they earned it.
Tune in, the number 1 team in baseball is coming, and we are gonna go crazy.